Your measurement kit includes the Optikam Posture Device and a flash enclosure for non-iPad Pro tablets. The following steps get you started. Download the app from the App Store. If you have a non-iPad Pro, snap the iPad into the flash enclosure and ensure that it's charged. The enclosure is charged separately from the iPad using the provided USB cable. After launching the app, follow the initial setup wizard to pair the flash enclosure for non-iPad Pro tablets. Enter your app login and tap the Finish button to begin. 4 modules are available within the app: Measurements, Lens Demos, Frame Selection, and Augmented Reality. Tapping a module icon will launch a session. You can quickly navigate between the modules in a session by using the icons at the top left corner of the screen. You can save or discard your session by tapping on the Done button. Saved sessions can be retrieved using the Load Session button. Training material and 3D measurement training scenarios are available in the Training panel. The Optikam Posture Device is placed on the frame when taking a measurement picture and allows the app to obtain all eyewear measurements with one single picture. The OPD is turned on with motion. The OPD light indicator will blink blue when turned on, will blink green 4 times when connected, and will blink red when charging. It's critical to properly fit the frame in the way it would be dispensed prior to performing measurements with the OPD. Unlike the pupillometer, the OPD measures how the frame sits on the customer's face, making the frame fit critical as it will affect monocular PD and fitting height measurements. Note that a pupillometer's total PDs will be the same as the electronic measurement total PD, but the monocular PDs may be different since they are as-worn measurements. The lower frame hooks are extended by holding and pulling the bottom edge of the OPD leg. To mount the Optikam Posture Device on a frame, position the top hooks on top of the frame, then proceed to close the lower legs to secure the OPD. Make sure that the OPD is relatively centered on the frame, using the OPD center post as a point of reference. Looking from above, push the wrap arm ledge back or forth until it's parallel with the curvature of the eyewear. The vertex distance prism is horizontally adjusted by applying a light pressure on the prism carrier thumb rest in the desired direction. Slide the prism fully to the left and ask the customer to wear the eyewear in the way they normally would. Align yourself nose to nose with the customer and slide the prism to the right until the pupil is visible inside the prism without obstructing the frontal view of the customer's pupil. Start the measurement process by selecting the frame type and the lens type. Selecting the metal plastic frame type will add 0.5 millimeter to the fitting height measurements to account for the bevel. Next, connect to an OPD that will be used in the measurement process. Ensure that the OPD indicator light is blinking blue. If it's not, simply wake up the OPD by asking the client to move their head. If the OPD quickly blinks red on motion or doesn't blink at all, it will need to be charged prior to use. Once the OPD indicator light is blinking blue, proceed by selecting it in the device list. The OPD indicator light will quickly blink green 4 times to confirm that you are connected to the correct device. If it does not, You may have connected to another OPD in the store, in which case you can tap Disconnect to try again. Select either the sitting, standing, or driving posture type based on the posture that you'll be measuring the customer in. In most cases, opticians tend to measure the sitting posture. Using your experience, observe the customer and, if necessary, guide them until you best judge them to be in their natural posture. When ready, touch the Capture Posture button. The captured posture, represented as a pantoscopic tilt angle, will be marked on the posture indicator bar next to a live pantoscopic tilt reading. Note that the displayed pantoscopic tilt angle is a combination of the frame pantoscopic tilt and the customer posture and is a personal value for each customer and frame. Take time to observe the posture indicator bar. If you notice that the live pantoscopic tilt reading represented by the red arrow is consistently different from the captured reading, which is represented by the blue arrow, you can override it by touching the Capture Posture button again. This mimics what experienced opticians do after dotting the lens and observing the mark on the lens in relation to the eyes as they talk to and observe the customer. Touch the Continue button when ready. While optional, the Focus button serves two important functions. It focuses a blurry live video and simultaneously triggers the camera flash, allowing you to verify that the prism is properly positioned with the corneal reflection clearly visible inside the prism. When taking the measurement image, position the iPad at approximately 1.5 feet or 45 centimeters from the customer, where the green OPD sensors will take up most space inside of the blue rectangle. The customer's captured posture is recreated by following the on-screen position indicator until it reads ready. Follow the on-screen indicator and either adjust the iPad position using a pivoting motion or simply ask the customer to raise and lower their chin and rotate their head accordingly. The measurement image does not need to be taken at the customer's eye level. Ensure that all the green OPD sensors are fully visible within the blue rectangle and ask the customer to look directly at the iPad camera lens and wait for the flash. Touch the Take Picture button while making sure that the iPad is held still. Tip: to avoid blurry pictures, hold the Take Picture button pressed, adjust the iPad position, and release the button when ready, or alternatively, rest one elbow on a surface when taking the picture. If you experience excess glare, clean the eyewear lenses and prism with a cloth. Once the measurement image has been taken, the app will verify that the customer's head tilt and head rotation fall within acceptable tolerance zones. Out-of-tolerance parameters will generate an appropriate error message and, in some cases, requiring that the measurement image be retaken. It's important to take a moment to analyze the resulting measurement image and verify that the customer pre-fit has been properly performed. In some cases, an Items to Verify list will be displayed. These items should not be seen as errors, but rather an indication that some aspect of the pre-fit might be incorrect and further review is recommended. With the pre-fit verified, you are now ready to proceed with the final step. The following measurement markers are overlaid on top of the measurement image: the horizontal line, the two vertical lines, the two green pupil markers, and the pupil reflection marker located inside the prism. While the app attempts to automatically place all the measurement markers, it's important to evaluate and confirm their final placement. Red measurement markers indicate that the software was unable to automatically place measurement markers with confidence, and user intervention is required to place the markers in their appropriate location. Note: only a pre-fit problem requires the retaking of the measurement image at this step. If markers were not found automatically, the image does not need to be retaken. Perform the following verifications. Verify that the horizontal line is placed on the inner edge of the frame where the frame and the lens come together. Verify that the vertical lines are placed on the inner edge of each lens on each side of the bridge. Verify that the pupil and prism marker locations are positioned on the corneal reflection. Note that two reflections are formed on the right pupil and inside the prism. The nasal-most reflection should be used in each case. A white fitting cross indicates where the customer is looking through the lens by taking the pupil marker location and compensating for eye convergence and parallax. The white fitting cross is drawn automatically by the app and is not set manually. If it's necessary to adjust the position of a displaced marker, begin by selecting the marker by either touching the two square line anchors or the pupil marker crosshairs. Once a marker is selected, drag outside of the directional ring to make large position adjustments. Alternatively, tap anywhere inside the ring to move the marker to that specific location. Use the directional circle arrows to make fine adjustments. Use the Next and Previous buttons to quickly jump between all available measurement markers. Once all markers are set, tap the Unselect button to return to the full screen view mode. All measurements required to order your lenses are now displayed in the results bar. When comparing the app's fitting heights to manually obtained ones, please ensure that the same measurement reference points are being used. First, establish what manual reference points are currently being used in your practice. Common reference points are the corneal reflection, pupil center, and a few millimeters below the pupil center. Additionally, due to human eye bias, many opticians that believe they dot center pupil consistently dot below the pupil. The app will place the pupil markers based on the corneal reflection, but will measure fitting heights based on the final position of the white fitting cross. However, the optician can adjust the vertical position of the fitting cross based on their professional judgment and measurement habits by using the Comfort Height slider. If you'd like to closely mimic your manual heights instead due to customer habits, we recommend the following test to establish the comfort height value to use. When practicing among staff members, dot the lens manually with a marker in the same posture that was captured with the OPD. Take a measurement picture and observe the vertical offset between the manual dot and the white fitting cross marker. Slide the comfort height slider until the two are aligned vertically, and this comfort height value can be set going forward for all future measurements. Another reason why the app's fitting heights might differ from your manual measurements can be due to captured posture. The posture you place the customer in when taking manual measurements must be the same posture you have captured with the OPD to produce the same fitting height values. Differences in captured postures will produce different fitting heights.